hell. They can't accomplish absolutely nothing. Okay? 200 years in existence. Nothing tangibly to show. Peace, Diamond, Jesse, we won. Right, Frontline Black News. They just keep taking L's, man. They keep making promises, grand promises, right, that they cannot keep. Ships to sell us back to, or to repatriate to the Liberia. Schools to educate all black people. They all become scholars and historians and critical psychologists. These guys cannot keep promises at all. Like, these guys, Pan-Africanists, man, cannot take them serious, and they're just panhandlers. Pan-Africanists are no different than panhandlers. They're one and the same. Marcus Garvey needed folks' donations, not just to get jump-started, but to keep things sustained, to keep business and operations operational. That's panhandling. You know, forever donations. Umar, you'll see. We're going to see the numbers. He needed donors as long as that school would have been operational. He needed donors to forever commit to running the school. So the steamships of Garvey, the school of Umar, they were never designed to run by themselves, where business just be booming and it keeps it up, it sustains and runs the show. Nope. They were forever reliant on donations. Still case in point. Pan-Africanists for Lane. They get it. All right. We're going to get it. We're going to touch on some crucial things here. All right. So first and foremost, let's go here. So remember, he knew that he was in a financial crisis way back in April, right? So the financial crisis way back in April was before the freezing of his accounts. So before his accounts were frozen, he already knew he was in financial trouble. Okay, now watch this finesse right here. So keep in mind, he's going to speak about his accounts being frozen, but he's still going to, the show still must go on. He still got to paint the school. Keep in mind, this video right here, he knows, yeah. Okay, so he knows right now that the school is, he knows right now that the school is behind 20,000, 40,000 taxes. And look how he sidesteps that right here.
With the mission, we must not quit, my brothers.
So right now he's addressing the frozen account. He's not even acknowledging to the public that he owes back taxes. Right? He's acting like his account is just frozen, and once that is over, things will resume normally. Watch this. No, press play. Okay, I forgot this thing be freezing. All right, hold on. It's froze. Let me unfreeze it. All right, let's get right back.
This is your big brother, Dr. Umar Ifatunde Oguntade. We trying to get these colors right for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey RBG. Got to get the flooring right. Yes, brothers and sisters, the accounts might be frozen, but we are chosen and we must continue. The accounts might be chosen. The accounts might be frozen, but we are chosen. We must continue with the mission. Rain, sleet, snow, or hail. We must continue with the mission, brothers and sisters. Oh, yes. We must continue with the mission. We must not quit, my brothers. Which one of them greens? Which one of them greens match the wall, brothers and sisters? I said, which one of them greens match the wall? Is it the kiwi Is it the lime zest, brothers and sisters? Is it the kiwi or is it the lime zest? Which one of those tiles match the floor, brothers and sisters? Let's get it done. Let's get it done. It's time to stop playing games. Let's finish what we started. Let's finish what we started, the Frederick Academy for Pan-African Excellence. Brothers and sisters. Which one of those blues match the wall, brothers and sisters? We got to.
I hate when I talk on mute. Okay, so right now, let me stop muting. So right now, he is back on taxes, right? He's backed up down there, $100,000. And he only confessed that he owed that much money is because somebody took the notification from the city off the door of one of the buildings and gave it to a big podcast. I don't know who it was, but they exposed him first. They exposed his business before he did. And they said, hey, man, look, this guy owed damn near $100,000, and this school is set to be auctioned off, 2 buildings, very shortly. So when they exposed him, that's when he came out and started speaking about the school and the back taxes. Let's save the school, let's protest. But he didn't come out front with that. He got exposed first, okay? So right now, he knows that he owes almost $100,000 in back taxes, and he's acting like he has a small issue, which was the frozen accounts. So right now, he's still accepting donations because he's making you believe, look at the colors inside, we're painting. So he's making you believe that you're still donating towards a school. So this was very, very nasty right here. This is nasty work. The whole time he knows those donations is his what they call it, escape route, his exit route. That's what those donations is going to right now. His exit ever since April, and he found out about those taxes, those back taxes. All those donations was contributing to his exit route. Okay, his next stage where he gonna be, all right. But he been knew the school was done, so all that money I was sending was going to his account. And that makes sense now why his accounts were getting frozen.
Choose some time.
But look at him act like everything's all G to send donations. Look at this. This is nasty work.
Wow. We got to choose which blue matches the wall, brothers and sisters. I need y'all to help me out.
How about $20,000 in back taxes? That one matched the wall too.
I need y'all to help me out. Which blue is matching the wall? Help me out, brothers and sisters. Which blue is matching the wall? Which tile? This is for the floor tile. Which blue? You want the dark blue, the baby blue, the medium blue, the coon blue, the Negropean blue, the African blue, the Neanderthal blue? Which blue matches the wall, brothers and sisters? We must finish them. Stay focused. We must stay focused. Okay. Which yellow matches the wall? Which yellow matches the wall, brothers and sisters? Y'all want that lemon lick or that lemon yellow? We can't go orange. Do y'all want that lemon lick or that lemon yellow? That lemon lick or that lemon yellow, brothers and sisters?
One thousand. I gotta get another 2,000.
We
Another
must
3,000.
finish the mission.
Okay, another 3,000. We got 40,000 over here. We got 6,000 over here. Okay, but the FDMG school. So you see, you got 60,000. And go on one squad. We got 80,000 over here. FDMG, 2 buildings. Abandoned building. Bandos. What else? We got 120,000. 200,000 over here. That's it. 20,000. So that's what's going on, brother. While you doing all this paintings, you know, bullshit, your school's on the auction block.
Let's match up the Teacher's Lounge, brothers and sisters. The Teacher's Lounge. What colors for the Teacher's Lounge, brothers and sisters?
FBA.
What colors for the Teacher's Lounge, brothers and sisters?
European blue. This is sad.
What colors for the Teacher's Lounge, brothers and sisters? Don't go with the lemon yellow. Don't go with the lemon yellow, brothers and sisters.
Now, family, why is the owner painting the school? Okay, we're going to address that. Why is he doing any work? Why is he doing any work with contractors, allegedly? He's sick, man. He's off that.
Hit the PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG.
Hit the PayPal. The whole time this dude knows that the school is done. Hit the PayPal.
Academy, we got to raise the money. PayPal. Hit the PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. We got to raise the money and pay for the tile in the cove base. In the cove base, brothers and sisters.
Why are you raising money for this stuff, man? Wait till I show you, family. Wait till I show you.
We got the
Every color. Yeah, he's officially worse than Garvey as a scammer. Garvey wasn't this sloppy.
I could be on YouTube making videos.
Foundation. You should have been.
I could be on YouTube making videos, but I'd rather build an institution. I could be on YouTube making videos, but I'd rather build an institution, brothers and sisters.
That's the problem, bro.
I could be on YouTube making videos, but I'd rather build an institution. Where are my Ifatunde Africans at?
Now he's saying all this months afterwards, knowing the school will be auctioned off if you don't come up with that bread.
Where are my unapologetically African alpha males? Where are my 5'5" thick in the thighs, all natural head to toe, beautiful African sisters, my continental queens, Caribbean queens, European, Asian, Canadian, Australian, South Pacific queens, my Jersey, my Florida, my Mississippi, my Philly, my Detroit, Chicago, St. Louis, my Tennessee, my Omaha, my Nashville, my Knoxville, my Memphis Queens, my San Diego, my Oakland, my San Fran, my LA, my Dayton, my Little Rock, my Jackson, Mississippi Queens.
All right, so now let's get to it. Okay, so I just typed simply. I said, in the business of construction, what is a materials list? Okay, I already know what it is, but because I worked for a construction company, well, really a contractor that did construction, remodel, renovations, all that stuff. Update your bathroom, update your whole house if it just needs to be gutted and built off the ground up. So now I was working in customer acquisition, okay, and what I know of, because I was in the business, I know that once you get a contractor, the contractor gives you the material list, right? And the material list is exactly what it says, all right? So let me bring this over a little bit. So that's why I said, why is he painting? In the context of contracting, because he claimed if you're if you're trying to remodel, renovate an old bando building, you need qualified workers to do that. Okay, you must hire a contractor. So in the context of contracting, a material list is a comprehensive, itemized inventory of all materials required for a construction project. It includes everything from foundational components like lumber and concrete to finishing materials like paint and drywall. Essentially, it's a detailed breakdown of what's needed to build or renovate something, ensuring all necessary items are accounted for. This is what the contractor sends you. This is how you are able to budget. Okay, watch this. The primary purpose of a material list is to ensure that all necessary materials are identified, tracked, and available for a project. This helps with accurate budgeting, so the payer knows up front an estimate of what they got to come up with to get the project finished. Ordering and on-site management. They're going to be on-site managing, not the owner. Okay? They are ordering, not the owner. A material list typically includes specific item descriptions, clearly identifying each material, e.g., 2x4 lumber, 10D nails, 5-gallon paint bucket. Okay? They're painting for you. You don't paint as the owner, as a payer. Quantities, specifying the amount of each item needed. Unit of measure, indicating how the material is measured, board, feet, line, blah, blah, blah. Okay, if anything, potential hazards, if anything, noting any safety precautions or personal protective equipment needed for handling the materials. And look at cost, estimating the cost of each material often as part of a larger construction estimate. Okay, benefits, accurate budgeting helps contractors and clients like Umar understand the material costs associated with a project. Efficient procurement. Get a gift from under there. This allows for a timely ordering and delivery of materials, preventing delays. Inventory management helps manage materials on site, minimizing waste and ensuring nothing is overlooked. Clear communication, okay, provides a clear reference for all parties involved in the project, including contractors, subcontractors, and suppliers. So the client has to know everything up front, what's going to be used, how much time, estimately, of course, because things can vary. Unfortunate or unforeseen events can happen, like bad weather or some rotten wood they didn't really see right away. Things like that. But the client gets an itemized list, the material list, and it accounts for everything the contractor will use. You just let them work. You don't go paint. You don't go do nothing. You let them work. And every so often you'll come down and check it and make sure that it's on schedule to finish at the time around that they said it will be finished. All right. That's the material list. So you know in advance how much everything costs for the project to be finished without your help. A contractor ain't gonna want the owner messing with stuff. Do you understand that? If you're paying me to do a service, why are you helping me do a service and you're not certified, qualified, or hired by us? We're insured. So if you mess something up, we ain't covering that. Or you mess up some paint, we ain't about to paint over. So that's all in the contract for you to stay away. All right? Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So now let's go. So now that's over with. Let's go to Tariq's video. All right. So we're going to show some videos. I'm going to do less talking today and a lot of playing videos and then commentary in between. All right. So this is Tariq's take, and I'm going to do Yvette Carno's take, and then we're going to cook. FAILS with Morris. Destiny, so you need a better mic. Yeah, I'm talking into the phone. I know. I will get one. I'm supposed to be leaving today to go to Jersey. So
This
yeah, I'm talking to the phone right now. The microphone is. I had two headsets. They are both broke. They're $100 each. Both broke. So just bear with me. Let me see how I sound. I know. Yeah. I'm. You still can hear me, but yeah. So I'll do all that when I get to Jersey. So here we go.
city
Thank
of
you, though. Thank
Wilmington,
you,
Delaware,
Destiny.
took out a
Exactly, Four Lane.
notice to auction
A contractor take care of anything. Family, I need donation. Yeah, he should never pay for. Yeah, he's bugging.
off the Frederick
But he told Lord Jamar and Rod Digger, I don't need y'all help. I got a team already. We got everything covered. You guys basically just mind your business and just help me ask for donation. I just need money, he told them. I don't need nothing from y'all or from the donors. No advice, no guidance. Just give me money, he basically told them. But he basically showed them his ASS. He was very, very nasty towards them. And they were genuinely trying to like help him achieve this fantasy.
Douglas and Marcus Garvey Academy campus for unpaid vacant property registration fees. I repeat, on August the 5th, the city of Wilmington, Delaware,
My fault.
took out a lien to auction off the campus we bought, the campus we've been working on for 6.5 years. I was not notified of this. We were not notified of this. This past weekend, without an email.
Yeah, Pinky, isn't that the biggest red flag? How the hell a client doesn't work? He's getting all these donations. Like at some point, you have to take out a salary. If all you're relying on is donations, Marcus Garvey, same thing. Where did he work at? You dig? So they got to take out a salary, and it's going to be a big share of the donations. So yeah, if he's not working, that means he has to live somewhere. He got to eat. He got to pay bills. Like, you know what I mean?
This past weekend,
Hopefully,
without a letter in the mail. This past weekend, without a phone call. The city of Wilmington put a notice on the door handle of both of our schools, informing me that if we don't pay the past due vacant property registration fees and outstanding utilities by the 25th of Black August, they will sell our campus. Brothers and sisters, can I ask you a question? Why were we not notified that they were going to try to sell our campus? Brothers and sisters, why are they trying to sell our campus at the very moment that our accounts are frozen?
All right, welcome, everybody. Respect the law. Glad to have you guys tuning in. Well, there it is. I don't know why my thing went mute. What's up? I'm here. What's going on, guys? I'm here. Welcome to the Tap In. Much respect to you guys. I hope you guys are up and at it and ready to chop up great game. I would like everybody to give me a nice retweet. Let's see some FBA thumbs in the air. Let's see some non-FBA hands in the air. Let's see those thumbs and hands. And let's get some retweets. Let everybody know that we are indeed live in the building, ready to chop it up. Now, before I get started, real quick, I got to shout some of the regulars out real quick. It ain't going to take long. I just got to say a little something to Brother Ani Asaru, Sister Rhonda, Brother Marak, Big Rich, FBA Tether Patrol, Aztec, Highland, the Black Nuremberg Facts, the Prototype, KK, Miss Skyline, Cousin Jerry and Bill Hernandez, Sir JG, Ethan, and the legendary Tethernator in the building. Respect to the law. Round of applause to you guys. And we will take calls shortly while people are piling in. And the first thing I want to discuss, family, Umar Johnson. We got to discuss Dr. Umar Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. The Prince of Pan Pizza, as I called him. And I'm not here to roast him. I'm not going to, I'm not going to roast like I used to do back in the day. I used to roast very hard on Umar. I used to call him the prince of pot pies, the the prince of pepper steaks, the prince of peach cobbler. I'm not going to do that. I've been trying not to do that. I've been trying to take the high road. And I'm not going to dogpile on him because he's going through a lot. And Brother Umar is going through a lot, and it's kind of sad. But I got to address what's going on with the FDMG Academy. Um, that school that he's been talking about building has been having trouble for a couple of decades, damn near. When I had a beef with Umar almost a decade ago, I told people the school was never going to open. I told people I wasn't being mean-spirited, but I told people then that school is never going to open, and it's been teetering along, and he's been fundraising for it, and the open dates kept getting pushed back, and it's been a mess. And then Umar's going through things with these women he's dealing with these strange women, these older women, and they're calling him out, and god damn. Then his daughter, his children are coming out saying disparaging things about him, and it's a mess, man. God, it's a mess. So now the school, man, there's some kind of financial liability going on with the school. Some paperwork popped up that the school is going to be auctioned, and then Umar, he this a few weeks ago, he was online talking about all of my bank accounts are frozen. I have no money. It's a mess, man. All of his bank accounts are frozen. He needed some PayPal money. It's bad. So now the FDMG Academy in Wilmington, Delaware, it has allegedly 2 court judgments, and there's like some money, like $76,000 that are unpaid, some kind of back payments and possible taxes. And now there's an alleged pending sheriff sale. So now with these judgments in place, the sheriff's office, from what I'm understanding, this is from it could be even more deeper than this, but from what I gather, the sheriff's office could move forward by seizing the property and auctioning it off. So it looks like that's what they're going to do, allegedly. So they're talking about possibly later this month to recover the amount owed. So, Umar has made a video talking about it, and he's losing the school, and a lot of people are like, oh, damn. So listen. Again, like I said, a decade ago, I said this school it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And a lot of people are looking at this as the nail in the coffin for Pan-Africanism. Umar says he's the prince of Pan-Africanism. And as we see, Pan-Africanism is, it's been hanging by a thread, the whole ideology of it. And there's a symbolism here, the symbolic collapse of the school and Pan-Africanism. This is what it is. The school was not just a personal mission. It presented itself as like a Pan-African institution. No, named with Marcus Garvey and Frederick Douglass. And what's interesting, Frederick Douglass was not a Pan-Africanist, by the way. Frederick Douglass, he stood on lineage business here. And, for a long time, Umar was saying that he was a descendant of, Frederick Douglass. And then the Frederick Douglass family came out and said, no, that's not true. But that's another thing. Again, I'm not here to do a gotcha on the brother. I'm not trying to dogpile on him. I know a lot of people are kind of dogpiling on him. I don't want to go that route. I'm not trying to go there. But, this was presented as it was going to be a Pan-African institution meant to unify diasporic children and Afrocentric educators and all this stuff. And its failure after damn near, what, 2 decades, almost 2 decades of promises, it's being viewed as a symbolic collapse of Pan-African idealism without execution. This is the reality. Pan-Africanism, it has really no tangible track record in America. Despite decades of rhetoric, and we've been talking about this lately, Pan-Africanism has produced very few institutions, schools, sustained infrastructure for Black Americans. It just hasn't. And this whole diasporic romanticism, it's just being overshadowed by domestic realities. I'll say that. Now, Pan-Africanism, it kind of romanticizes these connections with Africa without really addressing the concrete daily struggles of what we got going on here. So that feel-good Pan-African idealism, that's dead. Ain't nobody going for that no more. It's time for tangibles. You want to get things done. Nobody's doing the looking to Wakanda thing no more. It's just not there. Pan-Africanism is losing its cultural relevance, especially with the younger generation. A lot of young Black Americans are just disinterested in an unreciprocal diasporic alliance. People are now choosing lineage-based and practical movements. This is why the foundational Black American Renaissance is in full swing right now. And listen, that financial mismanagement, the people are just tired of that. These unpaid bills, and people are tired of that. That represents, that's what Pan-Africanism has always been, to be honest. It's something going on, something didn't get paid, something happened, something was mismanaged. It's always janky, right? It's just something janky. Even with Garvey. Let's talk about when Garvey got the little ship. It was a janky ship. The ship was janky, and there was a dude named Alfred Sam, Chief Sam. Even before Garvey was a dude named Chief Alfred Sam, who had some little janky movement where the Foundation of Black Americans was trying to get them to move over to Africa, lying, talking about all the shit that was popping, and they went over there and it just wasn't popping. It was all janky. So people are just tired of the jankiness of Pan-Africanism. And don't let nobody lie on me. I hate one. Tariq, you was a Pan-Africanist? No, the hell I wasn't. Don't lie on me. Tell the state, I ain't never claimed to be a Pan-Africanist. Never. Don't ever let nobody lie on me. You a goddamn lie. I ain't never said we're all gonna just be under the banner of generic Africans and no, we're just gonna have one African identity. No, I'm all about African and Black unity. I'm for that, but I know Pan-Africanism. We're just gonna give up America and move to the motherland. None of that. Hell no. I ain't never been on that ever. Because that's not realistic. And this is my homeland here. I've always said that. Yeah. And the thing is, here's the thing. Because people talk all that Pan-African shit and the motherland and all of that. How come none of these African governments backed or supported Umar's school? Yeah. That's my thing. All this Pan-African talk in the motherland, and Umar went over there and got some citizenship in Ghana. Okay, where are these African nations? How come none of them chipped in? Huh? None of them chipped in. No African government or nobody backed or supported the school like that. For all that Pan-African unity, yeah? Where are the African nations who offered land or something to build a shit over there, or any kind of capital, or any kind of legal support for the FDMG initiative? See, that shows that whole myth of reciprocal Pan-Africanism. The truth is, it's like a one-sided thing expected from Black Americans. And listen, this Renaissance, the foundational Black American Renaissance, and let's be real, it's made Pan-Africanism obsolete, to be honest. See, foundational Black American and the Renaissance that we're having as foundational Black Americans, that's succeeding where Pan-Africanism failed by us being lineage specific, politically focused, materially driven, because we want tangible things. The Renaissance is creating real world outcomes. Yeah. We got economic programs, we got institutions, museums, stuff like that. We films, we're doing things tangibly. Yeah, we're not doing that clout chasing transcontinental Wakanda fantasy stuff. That's why Akon City, all of that shit is falling by the wayside. Yeah, Akon was running around here talking about he's gonna build a smart city with flying saucers and vibranium bushmeat and all this shit, and nothing got built. Nothing got built. They said, hey, we're going to take this land back since you ain't going to build nothing. So all of that stuff is just crumbling.
All right, so let me chime in real fast. I hope y'all enjoying the information so far. Yeah, the FDMG, that name, when I first heard it, I'm like, Frederick Douglass has nothing to do with Pan-Africanism. He was a Pan-American. Like, he didn't want to be called African in any way, shape, form. He wanted to be called American. Okay? He helped galvanize foundation Black Americans to fight in the Civil War with the Union to get citizenship, not to get immigration status or a green card. Citizenship to go nowhere. And he and Martin Delany went at it because of that, because Martin Delany would have some old repatriation, ideas. So the school should have been called Martin Delany and Marcus Garvey. So I was like, I do not see that connection. Frederick Douglass would have disagreed with everything Marcus Garvey is doing. So would Booker T. Washington. Because in Marcus Garvey biography, he supposedly wanted to meet his idol, Booker T. Washington. But Booker T. Washington never talked on repatriation stuff. He again was talking about building here. All of our early ancestors of old and even the 1900s, 50s, Dr. King, ain't none of them were talking about leaving America, going to live in Africa. Not even dual citizenship. They said, this is our country. We fought and bled for. We ain't going no goddamn way. Okay? So the forged Frederick Douglass name on this fantasy school was disrespectful to foundational Black Americans. It misrepresented him.
Akon City, all that Pan-African stuff is just crumbling. Ain't nobody rocking with it. I'm not being mean-spirited. I'm a realist. That's why a lot of people, I'm a strategist.
And we're going to touch on Tyler just for a brief moment. Right? I ain't do heavy research in that. I heard she sold like 3,000 albums. After all that early success she had, walking around like a goddamn mulatto, giving her butt for Black Americans to kiss, not respecting the culture. 3,000 albums sold after winning Grammys and all type of stuff. Crazy.
I don't do all that idealistic shit.
Tyler represents Pan-Africanism, taking L's.
For some people, they're like, "What? You were supporting Africans, and now you are calling us tethers." No, I'm not calling you tethers. I'm calling the ones who come over here and undermine us tethers. But I became lineage focused over here because I'm gonna be very realistic. Ain't nobody trying to have no real long-standing, sustainable, global Black unity. People ain't really on. That's the reality. I'm not here to bullshit people. I ain't here to sell nobody no damn fantasy. I'm gonna spit it right down the middle to you. Yeah, ain't nobody really. People are trying to come over and get what they can off our asses. They're trying to take. Just like that video of that woman, that African woman that I played about a year ago. I like what she said because she kept it 100. This African immigrant woman was like, listen, when I go to these other countries, I am not trying to have unity. I'm not trying to build with you niggas. I come to take. I am very poor in my country. When I go to your country, I am coming to take what I can get. She kept it 100. There you go.
Right.
There it
I watched that
is.
one. That dudes were mad as
But
hell
listen,
of her truth.
let's be real.
And we can only respect that. You dig? Like, wow, okay. That's what's up. Just keep it over there. You dig? That's like a white supremacist being open about their racial views towards Foundation Black Americans. We're like, all right, thank you. That's what's up. Now just stay over there.
You know, that school, that auction of the school, that marks the end of a political era. That sale of the school that they're about to have, that's not just a personal defeat. That really marks the end of the performative Pan-African era. You see, right now, this renaissance that's going on now, it demands results, not rituals. There's a whole new paradigm going on. The energy has to yield tangible progress, or it's going to be discarded. And it's an era, it's the end of that whole infinite planning thing as an excuse. See, that auction that's about to happen, that marks a breaking point in public patience. These Pan-African projects, they survive on the idea that they're perpetually in progress. It's always some shit that they're about to do. They just been working on it for the last 40 years. Some right now. People are just tired. And again, I'm not here to beat up on Umar. I hope he's all right because it looks like a whole bunch of shit is going on with the brother, man. I hope he's all right because I still think the brother's brilliant. I think he's brilliant, but shit, it's just a new day. It's a new time right now. Yeah, people got to show and prove, and they got to come correct right now. Oh man, let me get some folks in here. Everybody get on in here. Let's chop it up. Let's get Bread Man. Bread Man, the comedian. Shout out to him. I didn't know all the people was in here. We got a lot of people in here so far. Bread Man, hop on in, Bread Man.
If you're talking about some kind of boarding school, the startup cost, oh, I love you can make charts now. Property purchase is $500K to $5 million. Renovations and code compliance, what we're talking about here is $2 to $10 million, especially with these old dilapidated buildings that Umar brought in. Furniture fixtures, $500 to $1.5 million. Technology and IT, $250K. Licensing, $50K to $250K. Now, let me tell you something else. You can't go do podcasts if you're trying to do something this big. If you're trying to do something that we don't see and you don't see it, you know why you don't see little 8-hour boarding schools for boys? It's because boarding schools cost money. You're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars a year. People pay thousands of dollars a year to go to a school that's not a boarding school, but it's a private school. You're talking about a boarding school that's 24/7. There's a reason why that's...
Yo, look at the money he needs outside of the material list. This is wild, bruh. This is wild, sis. But not just Yvette and other folks. I said I got hella videos. Look through my archives. Look at all my channels. Unbiased Ron and FBA Defensive Unit. Look at all my channels. I said this is a fantasy no different than Marcus Garvey repatriation to Liberia. I said this can never happen. And I showed other folks who turned schools into luxury condominiums, okay? all types of stuff, and they did it like in 5 years. And they were way bigger. They had to gut everything, knock the damn thing down, build it back up, and he did it in 5 years. But they had a team of investors, a board. They had the materialists. They had a budget, and they had loans from the bank. You doing this with poor people or barely making it money? That's wild, man. It'll never. You want investors. You want real money behind you. You do a grassroots movement, something like this school right here, the dream he had, you need real money to produce this one.
That's for the wealthy, right? So even if we look at how much this stuff costs, you would know there was never going to be a school. And if there was going to be a school, it would have to be by a very innovative-minded person who had some type of a team that had business experience, education experience. They will have to have fundraising experience, because you got to go raise that extra money. They will have to have building experience. They will have to have teachers on hand. You're talking about somebody who had way more. Umar doesn't even look like he has a home. This is a person who can't even listen. If Umar wanted to make money for himself, forget anything else. If Umar just wanted to make money for him, because people like to hear him and his goofy jokes in Africa, all my Africans, he could set up his studio and go live 3 times a week, and he could make that money to support him. He wouldn't have to fly nowhere and do no podcast. But when you're an egotistical person, it's hard to sit still. When you look like you yourself. It's funny because he came into this thing talking about young boys and ADHD. When you yourself look like you have some form of ADHD, things get hard, don't they? Because you can't sit still. How are you going to tell young ADOS boys to sit still and have discipline when every time I see you, you somewhere running around looking crazy? A person without discipline cannot teach the children to be disciplined. You don't have it with yourself. You couldn't bring people in to maintain a team. I've had the same team, give or take 1 or 2 people for the last 4 years. I'm talking about the executive team. And then you have the org where some people come and go. People have different bandwidths, all that kind of stuff. You don't have a team. This is a one-man show. And all he does, and he's gotten way more money than ADOS or the ADOS Advocacy Foundation has ever got, or the ADOS Research Institute, or the ADOS Empowerment Project. He's gotten way more money than we've ever got. And he's decided that he's a one-man show because it looks to me, who knows, that he's using what money he does get for himself. And he has not brought in consultants to say, hey, what will it take me, because I'm not a builder. I'm not a person who does renovations or property purchase. What would it take me to get from here to there? You don't do any of that stuff when you run around doing podcasts. Now, I don't have a problem with doing a podcast. There are a few podcasts I will absolutely do, but he's on TV. He's doing something all the time.
Right.
He's always on somebody's show. He's always in another country. He's always at an event. You need, when you're doing something,
and that's why you got the mail late, dude. Nobody was hiding it from you. They sent it whenever they sent it. Maybe February they sent it. January they sent the notifications, and you was in Ghana somewhere and getting citizenship, and came here 3 full months later in April and seen the notifications, dude.
Has never been done. You
most likely slapped yourself on the forehead like, damn.
Sit down somewhere and shut up and figure it out. I told y'all Umar was half crazy when he went on Joe Budden's pod. At the end of the pod, he listed 20 things that he was about to do. I'm going to have a women's conference, a kids conference, a journalism conference. I'm going to have a conference for relationship. I'm going to have a conference for people who like peanut butter. I said, did y'all hear this? This man listed out 10 different kinds of conferences that he's going to have. I said, do you understand?
Now, Yvette do not wrong. Yvette and Tone Talks they're intellectual. They're very good at what they do, and they represent the lineage very well, okay? And they are 100% for reparations for the lineage. Like, make no mistake. Her and Tariq had a fallout. That's cool, all right? I'm not Yvette. I'm not Tariq. That's none of my business. That's what they did. That's their egos couldn't mesh. But that doesn't mean what they say or do is now bad. No. She's very educated, and people just don't like personality. Fine. She might not be a cup of tea. Some folks don't like Tariq Nasheed. As you can see, almost every Tether video almost every Pan-Africanist video got Tariq Nasheed name in their title, not Yvette's. So Yvette's more palatable to tether than Pan-Africanist than Tariq. Okay, but they both be dropping facts. Tone be throwing in the numbers, and Tariq does what he does. So, and so does PBA and everybody else. Everybody contributes. But everybody not be your cup of tea, but that doesn't mean they're useless. Okay? But me, I'm unbiased, Ron. I'm unbiased. Just give me the good information. I don't need to worship the messenger. I don't need to accept the messenger. I don't need to like the messenger. Just give me the message.
How hard it is to put on one conference, but that's what happens when you're not a real leader and you just sitting around playing dolls. You remember when you had a doll and you was like, this doll work at the school.
Hey, yeah, Jesse, you might want to look into that, because I actually got the clip when she talked about voting down ballot Democrat. She explained that. So a lot of times, family, just don't take what somebody says hook, line, and sinker and run with it and misrepresent them. That's what tethers do, right? Sometimes it pays all the time to know exactly what somebody did and why they did it. You want to hear it from them. You want to get it from the horse's mouth. You don't want to get it from somebody else who don't like them. You want to get it from their mouth. But nah, I wouldn't be playing her right now if she didn't do great work.
And this dog wash cars. This dog right here, he drive post office truck. And you a kid. But when you get adult, you figure out, hey,
listen, man, for me, it's simple. Just produce the evidence. And I don't want nobody remake. I don't want nobody reaction. Give me the evidence, and I'll play it. But because they already went into that. Yeah, so for me, that's all you got to do. Give the evidence from the horse's mouth, the whole thing. We can hear it all in context.
In order to do this, I don't have all of the competencies for it. You can't have all the competencies. So who else can do it? There's no way I'm gonna write the do what I do and write and be good enough to write this reparations book, right? So Aisha jumps in and she writes it. She has that expertise. Everybody don't have everything, but if you don't sit down, if you can't sit down and be still with yourself and deal with your own disorder, you can't help nobody else. Can't help nobody sit still when you can't sit still and you always running around like a big old child. Let me just put up a couple. Like I said, we're not gonna be here long night. I don't want to spend I got stuff to do. I ain't got time.
Look at the low end.
Oh, this man's
for the
crazy.
startup. Look at the high end.
There's something going on here.
So
license and accreditation. That's 50 to 250.
Forget about the messenger. Just listen to the message. That's all. Is she wrong right here? No, this is accurate.
We're talking about a boarding school. That's how he started out. Initial staff and recruitment, 200K to 500K, and that's low. Because he's talking about that is that's low balling. And we can just let's just say it's a day school. That's still low balling.
Leonard.
Let's just say ain't no board, it's just day school, because that's what I think we ended up with. He low balling. Let's go to marketing, admissions, and outreach. That's 50K to 150K. Let's go to working capital, 1 million to 2 million to cover initial months.
Family, I know I got the clips. I read and research so much. I got the clips on everything.
Before tuition flows in, typical startup
people
costs
learn when they call in
$4.5 to $5 million. High end $15 million if you're building or gut rehabbing an older property.
Right.
This is stupid.
Not even you supposed to buy a new facility, man. That's less work.
Stupid. And
so in real estate, you can get a FHA loan, or you get an FHA loan to get a new house, like an updated, if not new, damn near new, updated. Or you can get a loan, which is more than what the FHA will give you, and it's called a fixer-upper. And people do it that way. They get a fixer-upper to get more money, but they don't put the money in the house. They spend the money on personal stuff, goofy stuff, and the house looks a wreck, and they never update it. Okay? Just get the money for an updated house. Don't do the fixer-upper. That's not you. That's not your background. You don't have the connections, the network. Buy an updated house. That's less work.
And for some reason, we're just unwilling to call a thing. And we will sit back for years, not months, not days. We will sit back for years and say, oh, I got love for the brother. Let's give him a chance. Hey, Listen to me.
Exactly.
I
Who
can
said
have
that?
love for you and say this is not. You're not.
Yeah,
You
spirit
can't
within.
do
Exactly.
this. And and get them people their money back. Get them people their money back. You have to be able to. You cannot. Well, we got you 5 years in. We got a building. You don't have a building that works, sir, for what you're trying to do, and you don't have the money for that. And I
Look
don't
at the
see
low
you
end and the high
somewhere
end.
working to get that capital in. Like we shouldn't even see Umar unless somebody has him out somewhere fundraising.
I said that.
We shouldn't even see him.
You pay contractors. Get out the way, bro.
You see me when I'm out somewhere I'm here because I don't get paid from the org. Unlike Umar, I don't get paid a dime. So it's funny
That's for it.
that I hope you get put out of your apartment with that look. I hope that's rent money. I hate to be mean, but good Lord of mercy, almighty. What are y'all doing? Let me just go through this list because, like I said, we got to be here for it. It's because I ain't through. Estimated cost boarding schools, of course. That's what he started out as. I don't know what he ended up as because I don't follow the man. Higher because of staffing ratios, dorm staff 24/7, 2 to 6 million annual cost. Student housing and food service $500K to $2 million. Utilities and maintenance $300K to $1 million. Academic programs $200K to $500K. Insurance compliance $100K to $300K. Transportation $50K, $250K. Like people don't even understand. Like when we had the conference, we had to have not only security for the last conference cost $12,000. And I don't care if you didn't see them, they were there. you ain't got to see everybody, but they were there. Y'all ain't gonna wrestle me to the ground. And they're there because we know what happens. We're ADOS and we know this country's violence.
Yeah, y'all got the right to like who you like and not like who you don't like. It doesn't matter. But this live ain't for that. This live ain't. When I play Tariq Nasheed, I don't tolerate freedmen or ADOS people coming at them. Because that's the lineage. And when I play, let's say a freedman, I don't want the chat lineage coming out of freedman. And if I got Yvette here, and unless she's making a mistake, unless she's providing false information, let her just cook. Like, okay, you don't like her, cool, got it. Doc, I noted. I got it noted. Good. But I want to play the information. She got a good list here showing how the school, like I always said, it just was never going to open. Now she's just giving the receipt to that. It's okay, family. It's almost over, and I'm going to the next video.
They were there. We also had it insured. Right? We have events insured because anything could happen. These are all things that have to happen, and I can't sit around finding it out. Somebody else inside the org is looking into that. I can't do that. I cannot do that. I can't do no one-woman show. And shout out to everybody in ADOS AF and ADOS EP who is doing the things that need to be done because you have to know that you can't do it. I can't sit here and talk to y'all. And I'm doing some stuff on Substack now just to kind of grow the reach. So if you haven't signed up to Substack, do that. So it's YouTube. I'm doing Patreon, patreon.com/ycarnell. Do that. And be the president of the org and to think I'm gonna do it myself unless I want to keep the money. Doing it yourself means nobody watches you.
That's the bottom line.
There's nobody say, hey,
Jay Morrison, Umar, Marcus Garvey.
To the money that was over there. There was some money over there, and then the money's open, then the money
now
gone.
It's gone.
Like where the money at?
Who would know the money is gone if you are the only person who receives the money? No secretary, nobody, just you. Hey, family, you ever had, some of you guys had like your regular checking account and you had your savings account, right? Then you might lie to yourself. I remember I lied to myself one time. I was like, let me borrow from my savings account. I'll pay myself back. I wanted to get something like some materialistic bullshit. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to pay myself back. I'm going to put that money right back there. Man, I made up every excuse in the world not to pay that money back in my savings account. So you mean that he's not, come on, man. Like the temptation is there when you have all that goddamn savings for something else, but you'll justify why you should dip in there and get some materialistic stuff that makes you happy temporarily. And it looks like that's all he was doing. I believe, now this is my belief, I believe he knew he went over his head when he started to realize how much safety codes and this code and that code, city code. I realized when I think when he realized that, he knew it was never going to happen. Now, he knew he could purchase a building. He knew that. He knew he could paint it. But he knew that it was much more harder just to get it certified. You dig? Just for the city to say, okay, this is, people can, you can have occupants now, let alone students. Yes, you can have occupants. I think when he realized that was never going to happen because so much stuff need to be done, and she's showing you $20,000 for this city code, $30,000 for this city code. You dig? You're like, yeah, this ain't gonna happen. Let me just make it look good. Let me paint it, give y'all, monthly updates on how it looks. Let me clean and blow leaves off and shovel and just ask for more donations and plan my exit. I'm gonna blame the government and I'm just gonna exit with the cash. That's what I always felt once a couple years passed and it was nothing.
Some money in this account. We have different accounts, and if you don't have anybody else, there's nobody to say, hey, I think you used that money for something you weren't supposed to use that money for. There's nobody to check you. So when you see people, fam,
10 million a year to keep it up,
who just want to be a one man or one woman show.
Black light, a lineage rent.
Understand the reason that they're doing that is because they want to keep the money. Remember when we because even with the shirt money, I still have ADOS merch, but most of the shirts, 95% of the shirts that get sold.
Let's go forward.
This is what I want to read.
Okay,
this is what I want to read, y'all. Even a bare bones 50 to 100 student boarding school in Delaware would likely require at least $5 to $7 million up front to just open, plus several million annually to operate. Umar's fundraising, even if every dollar went to the project, wouldn't have been enough to cover a fraction of the without institutional partners, grants, or tuition commitments.
Family, you cannot, unless even if you're super wealthy, family, think about this. The super wealthy gets loans. If you watch Rich Dad Poor Dad, you follow his work that gets tax breaks. They don't go, I got the money, I'm just going to no, they get hella tax breaks, hella tax incentives. The rich ain't out. They rich because they don't spend no goddamn money. They spend everybody else's money. He want to spend all his money.
You see what I'm saying? See, this is a problem. And Umar,
and not to pick on this brother, but ain't that what Dame Dash always said? I don't use nobody else's money. I use my own money. Yeah, Dame Dash, Umar, Jay Morrison, Marcus Garvey, all similar personalities. Egotistical. They take no advice. They take no accountability. They blame everybody but themselves. Dame Dash, I don't want nobody money because he said any money that somebody gives me, they're going to hold me responsible and accountable, and they might have a say-so on how I do things and why I do things and where I do things. He said, I want to put my own money so nobody can tell me anything. And look at him now. He's in the same boat as Umar. People don't want no accountability. They want nobody to tell them they can't do something or they should rethink or maybe go a different direction or be voted out. They don't want none of that.
Is a very unfocused man. And I'm not going to go back into it because I've talked about it. But this is a very unfocused man. This is a man who is scattered and outside and driving around and talking. And he can't even talk in the sense of just, Umar, for whatever reasons, as a comedian or whatever, you're popular. Get somewhere in wherever you sleep at night and set up you a space where you talk about whatever you're going to talk about every day. You could talk about any topic. You could talk about what you started off talking about, young boys, ADHD. People would show up to hear it because they think you're funny. I think you're funny. I just know you're not a leader and you have problems, but they think you're funny. You could have made your money doing that 3 times a week. And just all the other FDMG money, you wouldn't have to have allegedly touched at all. But I feel like Umar is not a person who can work on a schedule. And to me, that's a sign of something that's not quite right. If you can't schedule something and show up for the somethings in your own space, yes, you'll show up in this state to make some money or whatever, but can you do work on a schedule? Like, can you plan a show? I'm not talking about showing up doing improv. That's what Negroes love to do. They love to go into a space and show up and just do some improv. I'm not talking about improv. I'm talking about whether or not you can show up, you can plan a talk for 30 minutes and show up and do that 3 or 4 times a week. It says something to me that you chose not to do that. People around the country.
And that's crazy because everybody who I just said, who I named, except for Marcus Garvey, because he wasn't around the internet era, but Jay Morrison, Dame Dash, and Umar specifically, and there's some other guys who got locked up for SA, right? But it's like, again, they don't listen to nobody. It's like she's saying, Dame Dash would have been way more of a G had he just did podcasts and just educating folks about the business, the music business and entertainment, period. Instead of cussing people out, talking about folks all day long, instead of just showing the mistakes, what shouldn't happen and what could happen and you know what to expect in those meetings. Like had he done that and like came off like a guru as a consultant, he'd have been very successful that way. And like I said about Umar, I always said Umar should have kept doing those meetings. I used to listen to it because when I took him serious some years back, when he had those phone calls, I used to well, I didn't call it myself, but there was a YouTube channel that was like called like 50 like it was the numbers, it was like 50 million views, something like that. And they used to re-air Umar phone calls. I used to watch them. I thought they were interesting, you know. And he had a little buzz when he took on that school project. It's like, dude, what are you doing? You would have been big right now. Like she's saying, Jay Morrison, same thing. Hey, he just used his wittiness, his New York gift of gab, New Jersey gift of gab, and just ran his mouth. Like what's the dude, Pat? What's the dude, the little Arab Iranian dude, Pat? What's his name? I don't want to mess up the name, but him. Like, look, what do you do? He just talk. He just talk all day, and he shared his experience. And he's supposed to be some failed fake millionaire type guy, and he used that to his advantage. And he talks about everything under the sun, and he's successful, right? From YouTube, he ain't out there doing nothing. And that could have been Umar, Morrison, and Damon Dash.
You made way more money on Umar's videos of him going live on Instagram with him than he made. He wouldn't have had to child touch none of his own money. Going around here on podcasts talking about booty and stuff. Old man was crying about the money. I'm stuck over here. You're not even supposed to bring that to the people. You're supposed to have people around you who even. Yeah,
he always complained about struggle streamers, and what he calls them, that get on him all the time, make a living off him. But yo, you give them content. You like some folks just gotta stay off the nets, man. And he's one of them. He's one of them that guys, because he only gives people bad content to cook them. Other folks that's hated, they don't really give too many bad content. Like Dame Dash did that when his teeth fell out. Yeah, that was bad content he gave to his haters. But most of the time, they don't give bad content to their to their adversaries. Umar, almost every time he goes live, he gives bad content to his so-called haters.
Even if you get stuck somewhere, first of all, I'm not giving you how it's supposed to go, but you should also have people around you who can get you out of a place. Everything is, this is the only time I've been without money. Just no maturity. I say it again. He's not a serious person. That's the only thing. Umar is not and has never been a serious person. And we have to work on our skills in terms of how we pick people. What's this thing doing? And how we pick people and how we decide what a leader looks like. A leader ain't gotta be nothing sexy. A leader ain't gotta all my Africans here, my Africans there. But I tell you one thing a leader has to be, they gotta be accountable. Umar was never accountable. Every time you talk to him or somebody talked to him, he talked about the man and what people don't.
Yeah. And also Marcus Garvey, when he was in court representing himself like a fool, he admitted that he, you know, like he messed up. He admitted that he messed up. Like he was not qualified for that. That job was way bigger than anybody, and the Rothschilds couldn't pull that off, right? But Marcus Garvey admitted in court, but it had to take him facing prison time and deportation to admit that the idea was fantasy. All right. So Black Light says, I hated when someone gave him $10 and he called her out for not giving 20. That's poor taste and flat. Yeah, once you start telling folks, thanks for the $5, but next time make it 50. Thanks for the $100. Next time make it 1,000. Once you start doing that right there, like that's disrespect. That's disrespect. That's total entitlement. And yeah, at that point, he knew he was more than a leader. He was a cult leader, and he had a cult following. Because only a cult leader can do that. You know, that's what pastors do when they have like a cult religious church. Hey, I'm locking these doors. We want $50,000. See, you only do that when you're like in cult status. Open-minded individuals that support you would never tolerate such entitlement. They would leave you so fast and never come back. Okay, I'm trying to put some respect in the chat. So Doo-Wop Bands, the Truth Seeker says, Umar never planned on doing it. His followers would have built school, repaired it for free. Because, yeah, I agree with that. Like, I think if he would have just, like, his followers love the idea so much, he really could have got them to do some basic stuff. You know what I mean? But he is, G said he's a charlatan. He is. And that's the thing. Like, a lot of these guys start off with good intentions. But good intentions, what they say about good intentions? You dig? But that don't mean anything, like good intentions. Are you qualified with your good intentions? Are you certified with your good intentions? Do you have a proof of concept already in this space with your good intentions? And if the answer is no, and it was, sit down. You know, throw the idea out there for somebody else to catch and do something with it. But you got to sit down.
No, and what people don't understand, there's no accountability. And we love to pick leaders. Well, y'all do, some of y'all. Not my people. We love to pick leaders. Lights. That's entertainment. That's not leadership. That's entertainment. That's not leadership.
Yeah, somebody had played a lecture. I'm gonna play it here. I think it's important. Somebody came to one of his lectures and recorded him, right? And I just can't believe like the type of lectures he does. Like, yo, what? Like, yeah, like Dave Chappelle, like Charleston White,
and
Cat Williams
you better
type.
figure it out. Everybody better figure it out.
I think she's
Isn't
done.
it cool by you? I don't care. Care about what you. I need to limit myself. Maybe we got to limit people. They got to give us. He never give y'all no plan. Like the people who don't, he never gave y'all a 1 year, 3 year, 5 year. He never told y'all, hey, this is happening in this date. This is the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. He never gave y'all that. Jay Morrison never gave y'all that too. Jay Morrison came in there. Do y'all remember when Jay Morrison came in there with all them pictographs or whatever the hell he had? Do y'all remember that? Like,
yep.
There's a certain point. Like Jay Morrison was easy to assess because he had a whole background. But there's a certain point, and be at least $150,000 more. I need it.
Yeah. So she's right. Jay Morrison had a background of hell, and a lot of smart folks had backed up off him. Dr. Boyce had endorsed him. There's no way Dr. Boyce could have done that and not know that Jay Morrison was on some fraud, scamming shit. It's impossible, man. Because all the flags was there for Dr. Boyce. And somebody from his background, supposed to be great in business, like he could see right through Jay Morrison or Dr. Umar. So if anybody can catch them right away, people like Dr. Claude Anderson, economist, Dr. Boyce, like they're supposed to catch them right away and be like, hey, family, don't do that one. He's smiling and beguiling, but nah, ain't nothing here. I said, now I'm going to show you the clip of the guy who went to one of Umar lectures. He was actually trolling Umar, but I think it needed to be seen because you need to see what he does at a lecture. It's like unbelievable. I just can't believe, like, And don't forget, he's supposed to be like the most decorated black scholar in the world in American history. You dig? So when I seen him perform like that, like, damn, dude, you don't want to maintain no professionalism, do you? All right, check this out. And my man wanted to maintain no professionalism. Yeah, I gotta play another brother who was supposedly linking up with me today to talk about FBA business, because he made a video that was anti-FBA, and I'm like, hey man, do y'all ever engage with us, or you got just read? You know, they always say we're internet movement. Well, shit, all you got from us was from the internet. Why don't you speak to one of us live and direct? Like the dude yesterday found out, right? He found out. So that's all I asked him to do. Like, yo, speak to us directly so you can find out what's fake news, what's goofy or added on, and what's real. Because I eventually broke through old boy yesterday. My man's like, all right, man, I gotta get up out of here because you making me change my mind on how I felt about FBAs and being divisive. Okay. But here's the Umar thing, which is like, I just can't believe, like, this is how he performs on stage. And remember, he used to look very professional and sophisticated with the suits and everything. Like, he just dropped that and took on his thug. Then he started to like be like more of a thug, bag a little bit, Jordans with, you know, African dashiki. Like, he used to take on that, you know, try to, I don't know what he was doing, man.
One love. Every city got a cool Illuminati. Because you can't oppress black people without participation from black people. He's over parks and recreation. You want to do a community cookout. He gave you 100 sheets of paper for
He's serious.
Nigga, please. Somebody just hit me up. When you coming to Savannah, Georgia? Cool! I was there yesterday. Cultural Arts Center. Where were you? I don't know what's in the Kool-Aid. I don't know what's in the lemonade. But what I do know is when Raheem put that roll on, he gets a little tender.
Yo, really? Like, is that what we doing now? Is that what we doing? And he calls himself Prince of Papa, like putting himself in the line of Dr. King and Malcolm X and even like a Dr. Khalid Muhammad, and that's how he's performing. He's not even teaching. What was the name of the damn lecture, bro? The Kun Illuminati. So when I seen that yesterday, I'm like, oh, yeah, this dude is nuts. Like, he's all in on some craziness. He's all in. Like, he don't give a damn. All right, let me see what I got.
Everybody, how y'all doing? This is Shabazz with the proper perspective. Normally I go live on YouTube. I'm a little too busy to do my full desktop situation. I don't want you to get on here too long. I just want to make a couple of statements.
All right, so now this is the brother I was supposed to speak to later on, really last night, but it was late for both of us. But hopefully, you see I got no notification here, so he ain't respond yet. I wrote him today too, though. So a lot of them so he said he went to my channel and started looking at videos. And that's why a lot of times when I write these guys, I write them on an off channel, like something where I got no FBA, nothing, no content at all like that. You know, because they'll look you up and see you're serious and you know your stuff, and then they'll avoid you. So I think that's what he's doing, because he said that he was watching some of my content. So once you see that I can articulate and defend our position and represent it and express it, they kind of just like back off. So next time I write these folks, I'm going to start writing from my off account again. By the way, that's how I got the guy last night. He was asking for my channel. I knew he wanted to like have an excuse. I gave him a channel that had nothing like what I got now, nothing. So that's why he was talking so cocky until I let him know, oh no, I know a little something. So let's see if this guy holds his end of the bargain.
You should know what I'm going to say. All this angst, all this calamity, all this viscosity about FBA versus non-FBA. That's how I'm going to frame it. Because African Americans ain't with it. Most Black Americans ain't with it. Dare I say most Africans ain't with it. Most Caribbean Blacks ain't with it. Most immigrant Blacks ain't with it. Small pocket of FBA cult members. It's a small pocket of angry immigrants who get off on.
Now be careful of men with the little Egyptian things behind them. Okay? Because I'm just saying, that smells like Pan-Africanism all day long.
Online fighting, most of which, especially.
And I highlighted Pan-Africanism, not that it's an evil, ideology. We just know a lot of them are against FBA delineation and self-identification. That's why I emphasize Pan-Africanism, right? So when you see a Pan-Africanist, most likely who's aware of us, most likely they don't like us because they see us as a threat against Pan-Africanism. And it is, because we're the opposite of that, okay? That's a nothing burger. We are the real deluxe.
If you're directly tied to the FBA leadership, is being promoted by secret hands, Republican hands, MAGA hands, Heritage Foundation hands.
Okay, so the Heritage Foundation, I think that's a bunch of white supremacists. So this is all their claims. All of their claims always say that we are in bed with white supremacists, we are directly financed by them, or we just borrow their white supremacist talking points. That's his position right now.
That's where the money's coming from. COINTELPRO on the flip side. The new and improved COINTELPRO.
Now that's interesting, because we can't accuse them for the same thing. One of us is wrong and one of us is right. One of us are actually team white supremacy, and some of us aren't. So that's why I want the conversation with this guy.
And I do mean the leadership. Tariq Nasheed, Yvette Carnell, and I know they on two different sides of the spectrum. But again, it's still all divide and conquer. I will not, let me say that again, I will not be participating in the FBA called boycott of African businesses. As soon as I get a chance today, I will show up at least one African business where I normally shop anyhow. I routinely go to African restaurants. I'm
so glad he added that in there. That you always go anyway. There you go. Like a lot of these guys, I told you in Pan-Africanism, it's a religion. And Africa is the heaven and God. They worship Africans, yo. They worship them.
I go to African grocery stores because I'm into those elements of the culture. I routinely, I have a West African dentist who, mind you, was able to find a problem that I was having with one of my wisdom teeth.
Isn't that what dentists are paid to do? Don't they go to school to find teeth issues? You're there because you have a tooth issue, right? And his job is to do x-rays and see what else is there. So he's over giving credit to a dentist who did his job just because he's West African. But it's a religion and they worship these guys.
And was able to fix it. Whereas when I went to the white dentist, couldn't even find a problem. I don't know where this pain is coming from.
You probably didn't have the right insurance going to a white dentist. The West African probably took your cash.
But yeah, I'm supposed to boycott in Africa. I took my car to a white shop. I took my car to a Black-owned shop. I took my car to a Hispanic-owned shop. All of them said, there's no way we can even touch.
Now, you heard that? Family, y'all going to see I'm right. It's a religion. I told you guys, the holy saints are folks, Africans from the Caribbean and the African continent. They are holy. They can do no wrong. So he took his car to white American mechanics, Latino Americans, foundation Black Americans, I'm sure Indians and Chinese folks, and they all couldn't find his problem. But he takes it to who? Who you take it to that solved it?
The transmission. It's enclosed. We can't get to it. If you're having a problem with your transmission, you just need to buy another car. Now, I'm not even out of the woods of this transmission problem, but it was a Liberian bro that came and took a look at it and said,
it was a Liberian dude, the scammer. Everybody's telling this guy the truth. Hey, man, in order to diagnose, and listen, if you guys got a car and you had it if you guys been driving most of your life and you're like, yeah, at least 35 and older, you know, and your car not super brand new, you know that they're told the only way we can really see what's going on is to go inside it. Like, that's what they're supposed to do. Now, I cannot go inside and just fix the surface, which is the symptoms, but because what's inside of it is not fixed, it's going to produce these symptoms maybe 4-8 months later. Okay, and it costs more money to open up more difficult compartments of your car. That's common sense. But the Liberian scammer is going to just clean up the symptoms, and that's why he just confessed he's still having issues. Let me go back a little bit. So the Liberian guy took his money and cleared up some symptoms, and now is back.
he was coming from one of my wisdom teeth, and was able to fix it.
So he's going to confess that he still has issues.
When I went to the white dentist, couldn't even find a problem. I don't know where this pain is coming from. But yeah, I'm supposed to boycott in Africa. A black-owned shop, I took my car to a Hispanic-owned shop. All of them said, there's no way we can even touch the transmission. It's enclosed. We can't get to it. If you're having a problem with your transmission, you just need to buy another car. Now,
so that's the honest assessment. But look what he wants to hear.
I'm not even out of the woods of this transmission problem.
I'm not out of the woods of this transmission problem. That means it's still there, lingering. Okay, but that Liberian wanted some of that money.
It was a Liberian bro that came and took a look at it and said, first and foremost, why has no one checked your transmission fluid? But I'm supposed to be boycotting Africa. I'm not in the business of cutting off your nose.
Really, 4 different shops, and nobody said, bruh, they don't got to check your fluid. When your transmission is gone, family, what mechanic is going to say, hey, any transmission fluid in there? That means it probably wasn't there when it would. That means it probably wasn't in there when it should have been. You dig? Now it's too late. When your transmission is gone, fluid now doesn't matter.
Despite your faith, I am all for Pan-African unity. I am all for respect at all seats at the table.
Oh yeah, of course you're lying, V4, and that's why this guy we're supposed to talk sometime today. Hopefully, sometime soon, because I'm leaving on the road in a minute. But yeah, these are the fake Pan-Africanist stories of how Africans are holy and so pure and honest, and Americans are just hungry and greedy capitalists.
Black Americans respecting Black immigrants, whether they be from the Caribbean, Canada, or the continent, or UK, or Mexico, or hell, Papua New Guinea. I'm all for respect and finding ways to unite and solve problems together, because we all got the same enemy. So
yeah, here we go. Here we go, family. He said that yesterday. We all got the same enemy. I told you, he is spitting the religion of Pan-Africanism. The white man is the devil. The white man minions are FBAs, who are just stupid, gullible, vulnerable, and can't shake off the devil. Africa is the God in heaven, and we need holy saints of Africa and the Caribbean to come save us from the enemy. We're too dumb to know the white man is the devil and the enemy.
And solve problems together, because we all got the same enemy. So I will not be participating in the cult called FBA August.
So if he does accept my invitation, I want to know about that enemy. Who's the enemy?
One boycott. As soon as I get a chance, you're going to see me pop up eating some jollof rice or some fufu or some vegetarian egusi. See me in a dashiki already. I'm a dashiki wearing brother. I'm a hotep brother. I'm all of that. I don't. ride with none of the hucksters. I don't ride with none of the scam artists that's all over the internet. Get their coins. Get their coins by selling hate. Normally I go live on YouTube. To really catch my lives, you need to go to youtube.com/@theproperperspective. I greatly appreciate if you came over there and hit the sub button, hit the like button on a few videos. I've already talked about some of this stuff before. And I do deep dive.
Right. That's most of your views. You don't get views unless our name is in the title, buddy.
Lives on Black history, Black culture across the world.
Gotcha.
I do showcases on Goody in Richmond, Virginia. I do showcases on traveling to Africa. You'll see stuff about what it's like in Egypt, what it's like in Senegal, and what it's like in Ghana. If you feel the way I feel, if you like what I'm saying, then please check me out over on YouTube. How y'all feeling? Are y'all gonna?
Why do we care what's happening in Senegal? Like, really? We that's not on none of our conscience.
Participate in this boycott? I'm gonna actively go against the boycott. I'm gonna actively find something.
And I told you also this. Remember this. Part of Pan-Africanism religion is that your number one enemy is white people, and your number two enemy are FBAs. They always go against whatever we're doing. They always do.
Thing from a Black immigrant. If I show up at an African restaurant and it's closed, I'm going to a Jamaican one. If I show up at a Jamaican restaurant and it's closed, I'm going to a Haitian one. Richmond ain't got no.
He's going to any restaurant but an FBA restaurant.
Haitian restaurants. But y'all get the point. Y'all see what I'm saying. I'm definitely not with the COINTELPRO operation that so many of our people on both sides are falling for. Type and make some comments. I'll respond. If you want to ask me questions, I'll respond. Because it's August 1st, because it's Leo season, I am not in favor of the stupidity. I am not in favor of the beef. I am not participating in the diaspora wars. I am going to support. I'm going to support a Black American business. I'm going to support a Liberian business. I'm going to support a Ghanaian business. I'm going to support a Jamaican business. And I'm going to keep it real. That's how mature, knowledgeable, intelligent, Pan-African, and then now just me talking, and he's no longer talking. I'm on, let me know if you're available. That's how they behave. Last night. We are all one family. Too late. I'm available this morning. Not messing around with the Tariq Nasheed, Yvette Carnell, FBA, ADOS, hater-filled, immigrant nonsense. But that's me. On this day, August 1st, I'm going to support as many Black businesses as I can. Specific emphasis on Africans, since that's who the FBA cult is specifically trying to hurt. But they ain't got no.
Wait. See, I'm confused now. He calls it cult, and he said we're tiny. So how would our boycott be successful or remotely damaging in any way? We're tiny. Wouldn't we be a cult that didn't support them anyway? Okay, but so really he's boycotting FBA businesses because he let this quote unquote cult make him make a decision to boycott FBA businesses and just support immigrant businesses. That's like, what are you doing? How's that make sense? So one boycott you're against, but the other one you're for.
Smoke for the white people in the Middle East, Israel.
Oh, here they go. It's always let us do what we want to do, because you ain't calling out the Jews, the white men, the Arabs. Oh, God.
That kidnapped and beat Christopher Small, that's holding him hostage. They ain't got no smoke for the Republican-controlled U.S. Uncle Sam government administration that ain't doing nothing to get that FBA Black American back in safe custody. They want to make sure we don't spend $1 on some foo-foo. They really ain't even got smoke for reparations, because they like to start their conversations like, we're doing this to protect our reparations and we demand reparations. And they spend 98% of their time arguing with somebody online. Like, once you win the debate, you get reparations. No, you get reparations by doing what CARICOM does. You set up.
Oh my God. So CARICOM is the example of how reparations is done. Oh, yeah, I'm telling you. These so-called FBA Pan-Africanists, they hate the white man, number one, and number two, they hate foundational Black Americans, number two. We got to look at CARICOM on how to get our reparations thing together.
Reparation. No, you get reparations by doing what CARICOM does.
Oh
You
God.
set up organizations and you go scream inside the United Nations. You go scream. If you're going to do a march, you march in D.C. while Trump is in office. He the one that tells.
How closer are they, brother? Since they are the blueprint, how closer are they than us?
Told y'all he was gonna help you, according to y'all. I would like to know, why is it that it's so much easier for Black people on both sides of the ocean to find things to argue with than to find things to unite with?
Exactly.
And he said we can be as separate as the fingers on the hand, but when we come together, we one mighty Black fist, a pro-Black fist. It's a Pan-African.
Oh my God! When we all this hypothetical, when we come together, we're gonna recreate Wakanda. Like, dude, what example do you have of this dream? What can you point at when we all come together? And we keep pointing out, bro, they can't even come together where they're at. And they're going to cross the seas and somehow be kumbaya with us. Our cultures are different, language different, food different, political ideas and strategies are different. Everything about us is totally different from them. And they are more similar with each other. Like, they experience the same oppression in their countries, and we don't. But somehow they can't get along with each other, but they're gonna get along with us, who are more foreign than their neighbor. Make that make sense?
Okay, good. But this is the goal. This should always be the goal for us. We shouldn't allow whatever differences we may have. We can iron out those differences. Like Chuck D said, brother's gonna work it out. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button to youtube.com/@theproperperspective. So you can get real deep dives. Black power, peace and Black power, peace and Pan-African Black power. If you prefer the FBA stuff, walk yourself out the door. I will.
Hey, yo, why they always do that? It's the second Pan-Africanist that said, if you like to listen to FBA channels, I don't do that. I don't say that over here. See, but then they say that we're divisive. When did I ever say don't listen to Afro Think Tank? I'll just say, hey, when you're on a panel, like, refrain from advertising their podcast and names over here, you dig? But I never say, and nobody ever says, no FBA person ever says on a podcast to say, hey man, if you listen to Afro Think Tank or another hater or this guy, that guy, don't come back. Like, what? See, he's a leader. That's something a leader would say. All right? Just keep that in mind. We don't say shit like that because I can't control what entertains you or what you like to do in your spare time. All right. So what is this right here? What is this?
Coming back. In fact, if the feds don't get him, he'll be back. And he'll be pushing that school, and all he has to do is stand in front of the school and hold the carrot in front of you and say, the school's coming. Up, see the school's here? The school's coming. The school's coming, even though people with a brain could see that this thing is a whole fraud and a fake school. He's just going to say, look, well, I got the school. It's coming. And just dangle the carrot in front of your eye. Well, your leader, Tariq, and I have said.
Look, this is what they do. Defame, misrepresent. They make Tariq our leader. And I told you why they do that. They do that. It's obvious why they do that. Jealousy, envy. And they want to take him down. So that means they hated Tariq. Most of these people hated Tariq Nasheed way before he co-signed ADOS, before he came up with FBA. They always hated him. And they hated his supporters, way back probably during Ustream. But now that he's campaigning for delineation, self-identification, you know what? We're just going to take him down. And by taking him down, all the FBAs go with him. So that's why they're trying to make him our leader. Because they feel like if I take him down, I take down the lineage. It's not going to happen, bro. The lineage is the lineage, man.
Said this on many occasions. Tariq Nasheed, Umar Johnson, one and the same. Tariq is going to dangle that abandoned bomb shelter in front of you and say, see, the school's coming. He can do it for another 10, 20 years. I know they say that they're taking away the school, whatever. If they don't take away the school, he's just going to keep on doing it. He's just going to keep on doing it. Well,
now this guy got no views, right? But he's hoping one day if he keeps our name in his title that he'll get some views. He got no views, and I guarantee this is still more than his other videos. He got like 200 views in this one, and I guarantee the videos that we are not in the title, maybe 50 or 80.
Tariq Nasheed, who hasn't built a PAC, hasn't gotten with any politicians, hasn't gotten any, started his own party, hasn't done anything but buy a hookah lounge and collect money for cheap documentaries. What do you think he's doing? This whole thing about delineation, oh, we got to delineate. How are you going to explain how you are going to delineate and not take a single DNA test? See,
what? This dude, wait, how did that make any sense? He said, wait, a DNA test would just take us to Africa and Europe. I don't know what just happened here. He said, without a single yeah, this got to be a tether. See, tethers don't understand, man. We know who our mother is. We know who her parents are, and we know who their parents are. You dig? And that right there is damn near 1870. All you got to, I'm 47, all you got to know who your mother is, father is, and who their parents are, which would be your grandparents. And either your grandparents were born in slavery or definitely their parents. It doesn't go back that far, family. But a tether thinks it's just so impossible to figure this stuff out. Like, he act like we're saying we're the Vikings or the Egyptians or the sun people from planet Mars or some shit. It's not that complex, my guy.
Nothing stopping you from going to I don't know, like, do what you better. There's nothing stopping you from getting a DNA test. Nothing stopping you from getting your ancestry. I think it's 23.com.
He's stupid, bro. Just stupid.
So ancestry, there's nothing.
Bro, we know where our family is from, man. Some of them are still in the South. They never left. Yo, we have family. Yo, this tether don't understand we have family reunions. Is this guy crazy? Like, yo, I got relatives in California, North Carolina, Mississippi. Like, dude. But again, when you're in our business, and that's why we try to get these folks on the podcast, on the panel or the phone, to have them run that back in front of us. Like, yo, say that again, bro, about DNA tests and all this stupid shit.
Stopping you from getting your paperwork. How come this man doesn't have a paperwork party? Because he wants to string you along and keep the scam going. Instead of going out and saying, let's get the paperwork. I got my paperwork. Show me your paperwork, brother. They'll never do that because they want to keep the scam going. So with this whole
wait, why are you worried about? Well, now here's the other thing with tethers do. Oh, well, see, but the reparations check, what you gonna do with it? Like, mind your goddamn business. Why are you worried about us delineating? If there's a cosplayer that's delineating with us, it'll show. It'll show. Because you can cosplay all you want as one of us. When it's time for things that are specifically for FBAs, that person will be the only one not receiving it. That person's name will not be on that list, and it'll be clear when we talk to each other. Hey, man, yeah, you got that check, you got this paid off or this debt relief. Nah, huh? What you say? How come? Oh, see, I ain't apply. Well, you don't have to. It's automatic. This goes to people who are just, the lineage goes back to slavery. You dig? It's automatic. Oh, your name not on that lineage tree, huh? I mean, it's not hard, man. It's not rocket science.
delineation. Oh, we delineating, brother. We got to delineate. We got to delineate. Well, it turns out the freedman has decided to.
Black T said, I just had a family reunion in Massachusetts, and this is no shade. This is no shade. Can you imagine Black immigrants having a family reunion in America? There'd be like 12 people there, man.
Move on it. And this this is a whole new low. This is and oh yeah, Louis, screw Louis too. Like the Nation of Islam, listen, I don't mess with them. Let me just say that.
We know, and you're going to say you don't mess with the Hebrew Israelites either, right? Why? Because both of them do not deal with Africans. Okay, they don't speak highly of Africans, so we don't need to know why. That's
background
enough.
I perceive is anyway, but she looks. They didn't look too bad for her 60s. So she's beautiful, but gonna be improved to me. Fill your timeline up with solutions to help you and yours. Another one. This is another one.
All right. So at this point, he just
so that we may get.
I mean, come on, man. But yeah, this is.
Yeah. So I wrote this guy. I said, hey man, let's have this conversation. As you've seen, this is a different guy. I wrote him too, though. I think. Let me see. I know I definitely wrote him. Yep, right there. Right there. Right there. Now, he replied to everybody else, family. He replied to everybody else. But look when it come to me with the invitation. Look at the invitation. No reply. In fact, let me do this. Because I didn't just write that. Hold on.
Your lineage right away. You can get it right away. And for people who say to clean up your homelands, let's face it, guys. A lot of these guys don't have money to travel. They don't travel like that. So they're like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man.
This is the updated one. 18 hours ago. I got a like right here, but no reply. But he replies to everybody else.
That they're gonna use this
no reply
racist standard
to the guy with the invitation.
A racist standard in order to.
And that's all he do. That's all he do. I ain't gonna play no more of that.
Okay.
So this video right here, I really didn't watch. It just looks interesting. So, all right. I didn't watch it just yet. I didn't vet this.
That's evil. I'm sorry. That's me as being melodramatic as I can be. That's evil. Yes.
You have a nice looking tie.
Thank you.
I think we wore the same suit.
It's that Morehouse man in me, Doc.
Hey, I felt like this today. I just got in to the city from Lynchburg. At the Donald Trump rally at Liberty University. Well, wait a minute.
Come on.
Wait a minute.
Come on.
Now, being that he's a capitalist and a Republican,
right?
My name is John Cheeks. I am writing the Reparations and Restitution Act for the District of Columbia to be placed on the ballot this year. I was recruited to do this,
right?
Not by African Americans, but by Anglos and Caucasians and the rest, who are liberals, conservatives, and
So he said he was recruited by white people to introduce reparations on the ballot, but the reparations ain't gonna be what's in our minds, as you can imagine.
What's the other word? Independence and
libertarians,
just a mix.
however we want to describe
just a mix.
Right.
They want the act to go through, but by voting. They want us to have reparations and restitution. They want to end welfare. A lot of things they want to end within the.
Now, I hate when they do that. They say end welfare, like 13% of the population is on welfare. Like, we're keeping welfare afloat. First of all, welfare is for all of the immigrants that come over here. All right? All of the immigrants that come over here, welfare is how they get started. Okay, that's like damn near 99% of them get on welfare, some type of government assistance. And then white people are like 67 of the population, and there's a large percentage of they make up the bulk of folks that's on welfare. So if there's 100 people on welfare, there's like 80 are white people. Maybe like 7 are, FBAs, and the others are immigrants. When you look at the total raw numbers. So they always say that as though that's our thing. That's white folks' thing, man. That's keeping white society afloat.
Reparations and Restitution Act. They want to give money, housing, education. And also, I had to interview some of these people to give me a list of injuries. I interviewed a Confederate son of the South right across the bridge in Arlington. He gave me a list of injuries. I went through a deep transformation. I am a descendant of a slave. Mm-hmm. Okay? I am a Black American, born and raised here in this country.
All right, Black T. I threw your lineage wrench, Black T. All right, make sure you like the video.
My mindset had to be placed in a different way. He is a starch Democrat. He told me, he said every black person he sees championing their Democratic affiliation, he has to look at them and laugh. Okay, that's his report to me.
Right, I hear
the
you.
Democratic Party wrote rules and regulations and laws to keep black people in shackles and chains.
Right.
Okay. I had to also interview a descendant of a liberator of the North, Union. Very proud Republican. Very proud. He thinks that the black race slapped the Republican Party in the face many times and have drank too much Kool-Aid with the Democrats. Okay?
Right.
This Reparations and Restitution Act that's being written right now, not all of us will like it. It's going to decriminalize child support. It's going to,
Just say it and just tell me what you got to tell me, and then we can. Just say it directly, and then we.
Are you in favor of reparations and restitution for descendants of slaves? We can't get it nationwide. We can only use it in the states that held slaves. California, Ohio, and a lot of the highly populated areas will not be, accepted in this law. Okay? Just from New England on down to Florida over to Texas.
I hear your question. Yeah, I got you.
And in the Mid-South.
Am I for reparations
and restitution?
So the uncomplicated answer is yes, but I want to see the details. But now we can't go through it now because there was sounds like some
There's
stuff.
There's 216 points of injury that I have to list.
So
from 1600 to 2016.
There is a reason why we have chronic double-digit unemployment. It has something to do with a dual labor market, the history of a dual labor market. There's a reason why we have chronic residential segregation. It has something to do with dual housing market, right? There's a reason why, right, our public education system is the way it is, right? Ghettos are not accidents. They are the results of policy, and we need to understand that. And the social science data has made that clear over and over and over and over and over again. So if we're going to have a discussion around reparations, right, a discussion that can take a number of forms, we need to be honest about the data set, the data, about how inequality has taken shape over the course of our history. We got to leave it at that.
We still haven't elected a black president born from this country yet.
We'll see.
That's the facts.
All right. Look.
If our president was, we wouldn't be discussing this right now.
See, look at y'all. Look at y'all. I don't know.
That's the truth. That's his party, the Democratic Party. We have to wake up. Now, we have to wake up. We can't go through another election cycle voting all for one when the party was designed to do what? Enable, cripple, or destroy. That's the truth.
Well, let's just say there's a complex history around the party system and two-party system in the United States.
It's nothing complicated.
Oh, yes, it is. All right, y'all. So you want to sit right here? Thank you.
All right, fam, it's gonna be a short pause. All right, come outside, helping something. But I got some videos for y'all of a young black boy.
You're telling me that
What the hell is that?
reparations are
Okay, I'll
only
let that
for
play.
black folks who still live in the original slave states. That's if you're a descendant of slaves. If I can trace my bloodline back to Georgia, Alabama, Virginia, the Carolinas, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, but my people moved to places like California or Chicago or Ohio or I don't know, Arizona, Nevada, wherever, to survive. I'm excluded. You're telling me that running from the South disqualifies black people from repair? After generations of racism, redlining, marginalizing, poverty, and grief that followed us wherever we went. And we're still experiencing till today, let's be very clear, still experience racism in every inch of this globe. You're now saying we no longer qualify because we made it out. Now, no one said anything yet, but from what he just said without saying, and the discomfort or whatever it was he was expressing, because it looked like he wanted to say so much but couldn't. And I don't even understand how, like, this guy, like, you're part of writing this. I don't get it, but it's really blowing my mind. Like, are you out of your mind? That is not reparations. That is a slap in the face. That is so fucking disrespectful. That is theft. This is not a policy. Like, what are they doing? That is telling millions of descendants of American chattel slavery, your pain doesn't count because your zip code changed. Like, that's what they're saying. Let me be clear. I'm not talking about people who immigrated here. I'm not talking about folks who came after. I'm talking about us, the ones who can point to the plantation, the ones who carry names we never asked for, the ones who, and still carry those same names today, because you don't know what African tribes you came from. You're still carrying slave master's name that's been over generation and generation and generation. You can't even trace your original last name, your people's original last name, let alone a first one. But it's like oh my God, the ones who blood built this country from dirt while being whipped for breathing. I can open my ancestry report and show how exactly where my people were during the slave trade. They were in those slave states because they were put there. brought there, forced there. But my people, like so many others, migrated to survive, to build something, to escape from terror, from terrorism this government allowed and participated in. So you're telling me those people, those descendants will get nothing, not a dime, not an apology, but fuck your apology, really and truly, not a damn thing, because we moved, our ancestors moved. You mean to tell me this country has the nerve to acknowledge harm, but only pay for it in a few states? The legacy of slavery is not regional, it is national. It's in the air we breathe, the schools we went to, the jobs we were denied, and even the jobs we still have, the neighborhoods we were zoned out of, the hospitals that didn't treat us, the banks that didn't loan to us. That's not just the South. It's not just the East. It's America. All of it. And every descendant of slavery in this country deserves repair. Every. Not just the ones who still live where their chains were first laid. This is not justice. This is not repair. This is rationed pain. This is strategic erasure, which is this is what they've been doing. This is a cost-cutting scam masquerading as restitution. This is not fucking restitution. It's like they're giving out a fucking grant to the people in the West and East, and saying fuck you to everyone else. This is the craziest. Nothing they do surprises me, but this just aggravated the fuck out of me. Like, really angered me. I don't even have words for this shit no more. I don't even have words for it anymore. I don't expect anything from these people. I don't expect any sort of decency or morale or religious ethics. Like, I expect nothing from these folks. Like, none. Like, not the Japanese, not the Jewish people, not a soul. No other ethnic group has been through this disrespect while asking for what they were owed. I'm going to say it again, not the Japanese, not the Jewish, not a soul. But black people, black Americans, descendants of slavery, you gotta prove your pain. Oh, we didn't erase enough of your history. Damn, you still know stuff? Gotta erase some more so we can further deny you. Like, what is this? What is this? Like, Jesus. This is the craziest. And I'm like, no one's talking about this. And I'm shocked no one's talking about it. I'm going to tag some people in it. So hopefully some of these bigger platforms, because I'm a baby platform, they'll pick it up, the story, and do it justice. Because I'm sure they can speak to it a lot better than I can, because I'm no expert. I'm just a citizen who is like shocked every other day to an extent. And am having to look up all the shit I'm seeing thrown out there, and I don't know what they're talking about, or I have to figure out why it's legal for them to do what they're doing or why it's illegal for them to do what they're doing, because I've never experienced a lot of the things that they're doing during my generation. So This is this is all new to me in lived experience. I'm shocked. I'm shocked at what this man said, for one. And also, it seemed like he wasn't supposed to be saying what he was saying, but he wanted to get it out there. Like he had to tell somebody, but he didn't want to say too much, but he already kind of said too much. He kind of confused me because I was like, whose side are you on? Like, okay, you're writing this bill. It sounds like a bunch of bullshit. And why are you there again? Like, what are you doing? Are you just there because you want to be a part of it? You'd rather be a part of it than not a part of it? Because it seems like you know what they're saying is, it's appalling. Anyways, y'all tell me what y'all think. You tell me how you feel, whether you're black, white, Asian, Latino, Jewish,
Yeah, I don't know how old this video is, but we're not suing
if
states.
you're
That's why we're not suing states for that
or an
reason right there.
American
They'll play
immigrant,
musical
or
chairs, but you're over here now. We're suing the
from another
federal government,
country,
okay?
and
And maybe
tell
states
me what you think
at
about
some
it.
point afterwards,
Like,
but we know
how do
who to
you
go
feel
after.
about
It
it?
ain't the states.
Do you think this is crazy? Do you think you agree that only people still living in those states, the descendants that are still living in those states, should receive reparations? Do you think that there's going to be a whole bunch of bullshit in this bill that's going to harm black people further? How do you think the rest of the nation is going to feel, being that they are the descendants of slavery, but they don't get anything, not any sort of acknowledgement that they're trying to do this as a state-based, well, slave state-based thing, when this is clearly a national thing? All of the descendants of slavery could not still be living in those states. They would be highly overpopulated. It's not even logical. Of course they would be in other states, because if you took the descendants of slavery generation after generation and had them all toppled on top of each other in those states, they'd be overflooded. It wouldn't be livable. It wouldn't be livable. It's not even logical that they would be expected to still be in those states. This is crazy. Tell me what you think. I'll be back.
I need one more video to play. Well, I'm almost done, and we're going to unpack that. Okay. I think I am done. Hold on. Yeah, so that's why we're suing. So I don't know who did the bill. We don't care. They don't represent us. They're not ADOS. They're not FBA. They're not Freedmen. Okay, they don't represent us. They're doing their own thing. And so that goes back. Remember the panel with those Pan-Africanists, and that one guy, was like, white folks know who to pay. They know who to give to. So, yeah, we ain't got to do nothing. We could sit around and let them figure out who's old and who's not old. Yeah, look what they just pulled, though. Oh, yeah, we're going to do a state basis. So now these states, some of them are richer than others. Some are poor as hell. Listen, I got a video. Look at my archive, family. Y'all don't do it. They're short. They're 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I got a video explains why the southern states are poor compared to the west of America and the north of America. And spoiler alert, because of slave labor, slave legacy. Once we stopped working and we became emancipated, and then the 1968 FHA made Jim Crow illegal, okay? These states no longer, Alabama, like for example, Alabama, before the Civil Rights Movement, before the Civil Rights Bill, Alabama, what do you call it? Alabama, the money, the GDP, you could say GDP, but not even GDP, the money they was producing as a state, I'm lost for words, 79% of their economy, 79% of their economy was from our labor. 79, so we were like pretty much holding the whole state up. And that's not Alabama, there's others too. So once they lost that labor force, they were forced to do it, and it didn't work out well. Hold on. it's my fault, fam. I'm packing to go to Jersey, so I'm getting help, But anyway, yeah. So listen to the Pan-Africanists and let the white man just figure it all out for us, and we just sit there and wait for a check. That's not happening. So when the loss of labor force, a lot of our labor force was directly tied to their economy and their imports and exports. So when they lost that lazy ass had to get up and go do it, which they never really did. That's the number one reason why the South is way poor, not as industrialized and all that stuff compared to the North and West. Slavery ending, Jim Crow ending, cheap labor ending. Literally took money out their pockets. The whole economy pretty much crashed. And second to that is weather, storm, natural disasters. So natural disasters is what's keeping it poor. So you're going to tell us that we're going to get reparations from the poorest states in America? Like, stop. What are we doing? Not happening. That's why we know what we're doing. We suing the folks who were involved with the bag. Okay, and then we sue the big dog. The big dog gonna snitch. All right, cool. But what about those states? That's what the big dog gonna do. The big bad government they're gonna say, hey, but what about those states? Y'all owe too. You gotta go. Then that's where we at next. And if we can, we're gonna find ourselves back in Africa, Central and Western Africa, Mali and all those countries trying to get right. We're gonna have our hand out there eventually. Hey, pay up, man. Pay up. So I think I got everything packed and everything. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I think that's it. I have one thing in the house. That's it. And I think that's it for me. Yeah. All right. Okay, so now I'm gonna go silent for a second. All right, I'm gonna go inside, walk past a whole bunch of conversations inside. And let me play this video of a young boy saying, I guess the teacher said go back to Africa to him. All right, and I want y'all to hear his response. I'm on my way to my computer because I called in. The phone's my best microphone. Until I get to Jersey, I'm gonna get a real microphone. Okay. Out here it's not as easy to like dine out, chill out, and go to live in any settings. Out here they're not as sociable. Like up north it's everybody's always out. But people do podcasts in the open. Like the two, I can do that. But anyway, it's like more acceptable in cities where it's a lot of traffic. Out here in the country, ain't no traffic. We went to Olive Garden yesterday. Shit was down there empty. I don't know if they're just doing bad with the franchise or it's just that. But I went to DMV out here. It's not called that. It's called something else. I was in and out. You're never gonna do that in Jersey. Never. So like people don't they're not that social. They're not out dining like it is in Jersey. So I felt like if I'm at Starbucks or this place with a mic, they'd be like, yo, get out. Okay. All right. All right, so 2 more short videos and we out of here, right? Because I want to another live later. Well, actually, I'm probably done for today, tomorrow. All right, so let me show this right here. It's going to trip y'all out right here. For those who stayed, watch this. Watch this. All right, this is video number 1. Okay, so video number 1. Check this out, family. Okay, wait. I thought it was a kid. It looked like a kid to me. Maybe a little older. I watched it really last night. All right, so here we go. Are y'all ready for this? Okay, check this out. All that we have, and this is clearly black and white. Okay, this is 60s at best. And this thing might be 50s or 40s. But check this out, family. Don't let these folks lie to you. Hold on, I hate this on mute somehow. All right, let me figure out what's up with the volume. Give me 1 second.
We have chronic residential.
All right, okay, so I do got volume. Okay. So where's the volume here? Let me see if it kicks in. All right, so somehow there's a mute button here somewhere. That's what I hate about YouTube. I hate Facebook Reels and IG. I just like YouTube today. So give me a second. Let me find this mute button. I gotta widen the screen. Where is the mute? And like, there's no way to okay, I found the mute button. It was on mute. Okay, cool. All right, family. Without further ado, let's see what happens when you call a person Black, FBA, and African in at least the 60s.
Go ahead, son.
As I was going back to see, he pointed out for me I could go back when I want to. Go back to where? Huh?
That is a kid.
Go anywhere.
Sir, could you stand up? We can't hear you. Could you stand up over there by the microphone?
You mean?
Oh, because the video's not playing, so I gotta stop it and share it again. Yeah, so the folks who left gonna miss this one. This is a good one. Just stand up.
You mean to Africa? Do you mean to Africa? Do you mean to Africa? We are not Africans no more. You have raped our great-grandmothers and stuff and changed us. Let me finish. And gave us a name as a Negro. I am not a Negro. A Negro is a person with a slave at the man. I just want to tell you that. And don't say nothing else to me.
Sir?
My name is Reginald Dobbs. I live at 30.
Dang, don't say nothing else to me. That's FBA all day.
319 Maple. One of the ghetto areas that was pointed out in the film. I'd like to direct a question to Reverend Mitchell. Do you think that we will be satisfied with the jobs they are giving us?
Yes, son, I think so. Simply because we are asking that you be trained on the job, and they start you off with a certain salary starting rates, and you would be promoted up to the maximum of the job.
No, I don't believe that. The white man is gonna keep you where he got you. You're not going no higher than he wants you to go, and we ain't gonna settle for nothing but all the way. About this violence and non-violence, I'm for violence. Because we have pleaded for the last 400 years.
Mr. Meek said you did not speak for him.
Yes, this is at least 1960.
How would you talk to a young boy like that?
Well, I would say I would definitely have to use the Bible, Mr. Dunn.
No, I don't hear that.
Well, this is my own way.
I ain't no Uncle Tom.
Well, salvation
you
is
can't
free.
brainwash me.
Jesus said first you seek the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness, and all of these things will be added.
Heaven is on earth, mind you, brother.
Where you gonna go when we start revolution? Whose side are you gonna be on? Are you still gonna be on your knees begging for us jobs?
I was, as Mr. Meek said, he wouldn't just die standing on his feet rather than to die on his knees. I will die standing up for God, regardless of any circumstance.
Okay. Have God ever told you to let this white man rule you like he is?
Well, young man, you first must be born again. God is a spirit.
I ain't born again. I ain't got to be born again. See, I was born in a new generation. Your mother could have brainwashed you, but can't nobody brainwash me. I'm ready. It's gonna take.
Damn, who is this kid, yo?
Young boys like us to win the revolution.
The white peoples realized today that they was wrong for enslaving the Negroes. The great mass. May I finish? I'll wait. Why, if you so militant and so intelligent, why don't you keep your mouth shut?
I'll tell you why, Reverend Mitchell, because I'm sick and tired of you standing up there on a television camera, a black man with a white heart and a white face. You're a black Anglo-Saxon, you're a disgrace to the race, standing up on a white man loving you. Ask Medgar Evers' wife. Ask the prayers of the 3 civil rights workers in Mississippi. Ask Emily Lee Jackson's mother. Understand? Ask Grace Louise's 5 children who were shot in the head because he's riding with a black boy.
Yeah, so they went in on this modern day, old time coon who now those arguments are borrowed by Tethers. Tethers now has taken this place of a coon, an old time coon. All right, so I got one more video. Well, I said I had 2, right? I got one more video. It's probably on mute. Okay, yeah. God damn. Okay, here we go. Give me a button. Okay. I don't know how to go back though. Okay, let's just see.
Why do they keep trying to send us back to Africa? Because they don't want us to remember where we really come from. Copper-colored Americans, you are the original people of this land. But through a process called paper genocide, they stole your identity, erased your history, and rebranded you as African American. This wasn't an accident. It was a strategic move to strip you of your land, sovereignty, and true heritage. What is paper genocide?
Yeah, so this is what Sister said yesterday.
Paper genocide is when a government systematically reclassifies a group of people on official documents.
So this is just going into those who have a claim for being native, like always being here, not coming on slave ships. So this don't apply to everybody. This applies to those that this applies to. Okay. But the first video, kid went in. The kid like, yeah, go back where? Africa? He said, I ain't Africa. He said, I ain't African. He said, nah. My grandmother, great-grandmother, they all from this country. So as you can see, so was he delineating? This is a damn near 17-year-old, 16-year-old FBA in the 1960s, okay? Probably late 50s. Probably late 50s. Don't forget, civil rights, matter of fact, that was probably, the civil rights movement started in like, what, 54? So this was probably 58, because he said nonviolent. Okay, so that's probably like 57. That's probably late 50s. And according to Tethers and Pan-Africanists, this little boy was being divisive. He said, "I ain't African." Matter of fact, let me do it one more time. Let's hear that. Let's hear that young man one more time. My boy said, "I ain't African. What you calling African?" Like he took that as a straight up insult. Hold on, he said, "Don't play." Let's play him one more again. One more again. It's fucking on mute. One second. It goes on mute automatically. That's good sometimes. I hate when I click somebody's link and it just be blasting in public. The white man's the devil. He's like, all right, sir, can you get up and leave, please?
Go ahead, son.
As I was going back to see, he pointed out for me I could go back when I want to. Go back to where? Huh? Go anywhere.
Sir, could you stand up? We can't hear you. Could you stand up over there by the microphone?
You mean to Africa? Do you mean to Africa? Do you mean to Africa? We are not Africans no more. You have raped our great-grandmothers and stuff and changed us. Let me finish. And gave us a name as a Negro. I am not a Negro. A Negro is a person with a slave at the man. I just want to tell you that. And don't say nothing else to me.
Sir?
My name is Fred.
Yo, that was GFBC. Now, that's what we're saying. When folks, you can call it what you want to call it. Tariq Nasheed calls it the majority spirit, whatever you want to call that. That's what we believe is more in us, okay, than anybody, regardless of race, ethnicity, creed, color, gender, all that type of stuff, religion. We feel like that right there is more in us than anybody else. That dude said, and don't say nothing else to me. And he looked at dead ass. And that white man said one more thing to him. Well, I'm playing. So when you got tethers coming on here, like Revenue and Chaotic saying we didn't fight, yeah, all right. We're doing this as the overwhelmingly minority. Less than 13% at that point, maybe like 9-8% of America. And America's way more white at that point. Like they're like 6-7% now. Shit, it was probably like 80-90% at that time. But that was a complete L for us. But standing in the face of death, that man said, this is Jim Crow too, by the way, family. He's saying this stuff in Jim Crow. They don't say nothing else to me. That is what I'm talking about. All y'all should be proud of that right there. That should have made everybody feel good. Literally standing on business. All right, so I'm going to conclude with that right there. I don't want nothing else on your mind. I want that to be the last impression of the day from my live, from my podcast, from FBA News and Update, The Lineage. My man said, don't say nothing else to me again. He said, we ain't African no more. I'm going to clip that. All right, family, man, I hope y'all enjoyed today's live. You dig? I'm probably most likely going to see y'all tomorrow. I'm sure nothing going down today. 12-hour ride, probably 14 and stuff. All right, man. Peace, man. We one, be one. The Lineage.